something that is naturally endowed. When I mean natural endowed, is a phenomenon that we can't take away from. How do I mean? In terms of population, we have it. If we are not almost, yes, in the world, we are the most populated black nation on earth. But in African cities, if we are not the top, we at least we are in top 3. You understand? You look at human capital development. Human capital impact. We are, if we are not number 1, I don't see any other country that you can say, okay, apart from leadership issues we are having. You understand? It comes in terms of entertainment, it comes in terms of sports and what have you. So, issue of being a big brother in Africa is not something that is debatable. If not for the lack of strong will leadership, governance that we are struggling with. But then, is it a burden? Oh yes, it is.
It does not pressure us. Is it not putting us under pressure?
I didn't get it.
Is it not putting us under unnecessary pressure?
Oh yes, it is. It is, and that is why many at times we will find ourselves making comments, making contribution that kind of put us on different angles with what we are doing internally. You understand? It's a good call for our president to call for African unity, but then we need to see him doing some of the things that we, show that under his administration. Yes, one can give him thumbs up with regards to energy sector, where he has been able to revitalize a lot of refineries, give support to private ones that's making our energy sector to boom. And then there are reports that are saying that in Europe and other Western world, they are struggling with their refineries because of reviving of our energy sector. Is a plus. Looking inward to solve issues of energy. But then we need to see him leading from the front. Let's 2025, as he has preached that to Africa, let Africans begin to see in his convoy African-made vehicles, Nigerian-made vehicles, just as you see in United Kingdom, you see in US, you see in Germany, you see in Brazil and other nations. Let us begin to see our president whenever he has headache. If he cannot treat it in Abuja, yes, his second home is Lagos. Let him go to Lagos and treat it. Or any other state where he is having issues. You understand? As we are beginning to preach this African unity, I think it's time we begin to look inward. Issues of religion that sometimes one cannot say is an opium, but I don't know how to put it. But then we can look at how we can reduce this issue of tourism, religious tourism that we are going to either in Asia or in Europe in the name of Israel or Saudi, Iran or what have you, and make use of what we have. God is started from Africa. Let's make use of what we have internally. It can boost a lot of things. Let us see our leaders having their wards, their children, going to our public schools. Not like the one we saw just recently, the Minister of FCT celebrating his son, obtaining a master's in law in the United Kingdom. You understand? Let us find a way we can improve what we have. So if we make a call for African unity, it will make a whole lot of sense. And not the one we will make, and then you are using one finger to point at the direction you want us to go, and the rest four fingers are showing a different direction you are going.
All right.
That is my view.
Yeah, but when it comes on the heels, where Tchani, the leader of the Malian base now, Malian country, has come out to saying that, or Niger Republic, I beg your pardon, claiming that Nigeria had provided space for France to use to destabilize, the former French colony, and with such accusations coming from, this Abdurrahmane Tchani, saying that France was planning to destabilize Niger by using neighboring Benin Republic and Nigeria as staging grounds for attack. What justification? I mean, not just that. Now, apart from that, we've also seen on the papers to this morning where I think the military was asking the UN to probe external forces that are sponsoring banditry, terrorism in Nigeria, because they are alluding that these terrorism, based on their research and everything, is not basically Nigerians. They're not sponsored by Nigerians at this point. That is mostly outside the shores of this country, right? Now, with all of these together, what justifies the speech? I mean, in terms of calling for African unity, do you still feel that that speech was well intended? Or do you feel that there are other ways to have said what he said, talking about President Bola now, you know, in delivering such speech, when many people believe that charity should begin at home?
Exactly. And that is what I am saying. Charity should begin at home, you know. The issue of a Niger military leader, you know, accusing our country of, you know, giving France a military base to do a lot of things, you know. You know, just like, how do Africa say itself? The Africa say that a witch cries at night, a child dies in the morning, and those that are into investigative work will tell us in every accusation there are elements of truth, you know. And one cannot be in doubt, especially if you are a Nigerian, you know, when you begin to see your neighbor on a monthly basis, any foreign trip he goes, he must have a stopover at France. You know, people they have already perceived to be in a difference, if I cannot call it enmity with them. No, but then we should not prioritize relationship or building stronger ties with international frontiers, you know, rather than our neighbors. Our neighbors should be a priority. You know, because if you look at what is happening, we are struggling with issues of security, economic challenges that have caused untold hardship on the Nigerians. We should possibly look at inwards, because if just last year we saw the impact of what happened last year when Cameroon released their Lado Dam, communities were, you know, destroyed. Farm products were destroyed. People died. Something that did not last up to 2 weeks. And something they do routinely. Now, how much more when you are having issues with your neighbors and they make their borders porous for you to allow either foreign mercenaries or criminals or terrorists to have free access to your home, just like we saw under President Mohamed Buhari regime, when I think the governor of Kaduna State, then El-Rufai, saying that most of the people killing our farmers are from Mali. What do you think will happen if they make their borders porous? You understand? The economic struggle we are facing, we face it even more than times 2. The security we think that we are making success with, you know, will be a child's play. Just recently we saw the threat of a bomb blast in FCT, capital of our nation. So I think we should prioritize relationship of our neighbors than international frontiers that we are doing. And then if we are in good terms with our neighbors and we are making call for African unity, it will make a whole lot of sense. You understand? That does not mean that even the call for African unity is not a... That is what we advocate for. That is what we crusade for. That is what I preach. That is what I support. But then we should be leading from the front. We shouldn't be that we say one thing and we are seen doing another thing.
All right. Saying one thing and doing another thing there. You want to add your voice in the discourse this morning? 0907 353 0044 would be that number to call. 0907 353 0044. Or better still, you can send a WhatsApp message only to the WhatsApp portal number 0909 705 4450. Let's take this call now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Yogi.
Yes, good morning to you, please.
And good morning to our guest.
Yeah.
Yes, Felix from Lambaka.
All right, Felix, thank you. Welcome aboard.
When Nigerian politician speaks, you know, this politician is from Nigeria. Because they say one thing and do another thing. And I think the world is like that. Anywhere you go, you make pronouncements of what you are not practicing. I really sincerely understand the pains of their guests in trying to manage his words, not using words like hypocrisy, pretense, But we know the direction. We know what is happening. This is countries you have not with foreign countries. That's why you go for your treatment. That's why your children are educated. Nothing indigenous in your setting. Everything is foreign. Come for foreign. You go in foreign. You go abroad. And you are talking about unity. And let me tell you, Nigerians are brave and courageous people. We are united. If not for the fact that we have one God and we are trying to live in unity, these politicians can divide us with their threat, with everything that is posed before us. So let's say the word and do it. And let's reflect back to our own personality, how we live, how we conduct our life. Imagine a minister celebrating a child, reading matters and law overseas. Is he going to see the law? Is it the law of overseas or the law of Nigeria is going to practice? What are we talking about? Let's indigenous in our approach. Let's indigenous in our utterance. When we call for unity, people will listen to us and obey us. Thank you very much.
All right, Felix right there from Lamberta saying there's a need to be indigenous in everything that we do, and he cited the issues of having to patronize goods and services from outside the shores of Nigeria, but when we're supposed to indeed help the ones in the country to grow and get to that zenith where other countries will indeed see the value in it and wish for such to be imported or exported into their countries. But let's go hear this one now. Hello and good morning.
Hello,
Good morning.
my name is good morning.
Yes.
Inside this morning, my name is Abidi Blessing. Thank God I'm here, Celestial Bless. I greet our guests.
Right. Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
Okay, you give me bag of rice. I call from Otako.
All right, baby.
I'm calling from Otako.
Yes,
we are
baby.
talking about unity. Our president want to bring unity back to us, right?
Right.
I know they against it. After all, we dey talk every day. Now they even separate us. Now they make us no get unity for ourselves. Two religion, this one are Muslim, this one are Christian, this one are pagan. So the things scatter us before. If they can bring unity between us, before we go outside, that they say charity begins at home. May first of all start our body first, make them unite us together, so that when we remove tribalism. Now I say my unity, but without all this, or you go abroad another outside country, you say you want me to kill us be that because we will not love ourselves. They go still use outside country, share ourselves. It's not good. Unite us first. Remove religion. Settle our own Nigeria first. Wetin you know dey put an order. As you are travel, you are still do good to where other people dey do. Bring a cause for here for our home. We know say yes, unity don dey cause small. But if you do another outside country now, come unite us together. You when you get us, you know unite us together. You say you dey go outside country, go and bring unity for us. Where do we keep our there before? We dey only dey pack our unity go outside country. We no dey pack the whole come here. But may we unite ourselves first. May we remove tribalism. If we remove tribalism, we go unite ourselves together. Now we don't know. We don't love ourselves. You can see in this radio, Muslim people go come, Christian go come, as we love ourselves. Now they separate us before. May they call us back where we be before. We love ourselves before. We know hate ourselves. Now the politicians they separate us. Using God they chase us away. Using police they chase us away. May they stop that. We go to waka as a unity. God bless you. My name is BB Blessing from Otako. Bye bye.
All right, BB Blessing right there, adding a voice saying, "Hey, we are only divided via political lines and party lines and interests, but that we are totally united." Well, Felix also was sharing some thoughts about whether or not we are united. In fact, he said it was not something that should be in contest. Please, Motire, do well to call 0907 353 0044. 0907 353 0044. So Felix is also holding it right there, Comrade Gerald, that look, we are united people. We are united people, and that there is no disputing that. BB Blessing is saying that we are united people. There is no disputing that we are only being divided by political, affiliations. But well, I would like to ask the question, what then is the issue or separating us or dividing us, right? And how can we start that unity, not just by the words of the mouth, but in the very action, in our very action, right? in our everyday life and living, such that it will reflect not just locally but internationally. And then when we make proclamations and we give goodwill messages, as such the president has done in Ghana just recently, it will indeed be embraced, and we will not have dissenting voices such as that of the Niger, coming in between all of that. But you will give us your thoughts, and that will be after we go on this recess and we come back from it, right? This is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Don't go away. We're still talking politics and current affairs.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Wow, it's Emirates. It's time of the year when we all start to plan our next holidays, and you are spoiled for choice with Emirates. Fly better to over 114 destinations and connect to over 1,700 more with their partners across the world on what a way to travel, with bars in the sky, onboard showers, and award-winning in-flight entertainment. It's no surprise that Emirates was named the best airlines in the world, so book now on Emirates.com.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just
20,000 naira?
Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur, Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. Hurry now.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Back from that recess now, we're still looking at the topical issue. Africa will unite firmly against external forces seeking to cause disunity, and that statement is credited to our own president at the inaugural ceremony of the president of Ghana, who just came into power just right there, talking about Dramini. And quite a number of persons have said that, hey, the speech is not uncanny. It's a very well, thought about speech. But then why do we keep saying things that is not reflexive of where we are from? And it does not align with the thought line of how other African countries perceive us. What about perception? What about international recognition? What about the place of integrity, of culture, the integrity of appropriation in the dissemination of our attitudinal skills, of our personality, of who we are as a people? Is it reflexive, in terms of how leadership is being maintained, monitored, and sustained in our dear country, Nigeria? Well, still having this discourse with us is our guest via phone call. He is joining us, Comrade Gerald Okachi. He's a human rights activist, public affairs commentator, and social analyst. And get across social media platforms now, YouTube and Facebook, and see for yourself what is going on in the studio. And also give us your 2 cents on whether the justification of this speech, and would you say that with the body language of Mr. President, that we are indeed beginning to foster unity and work towards the development or overall development of our dear country, Nigeria? Comrade Gerald, are you there?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yes. I think with what is happening today, within our nation, I think we are beginning to express that faith in fostering unity.
Right.
Just yesterday, the NFF made appointment of a Malian. I think a Malian, yes, as our technical head coach of our senior national team. That is a thumbs up. It shows that we are looking inwards. And recently we have seen that. Efforts by incoming president of the United States of America, trying to annex Canada, as strong as they are, and they are still trying to strengthen their stronghold or powers, with acquiring money. I think that's what Africa should be looking at. If we can come together, if possible, have one currency, or find a way we can have a free trade movement, that once you're in Africa, you don't need visa to go to any African country. You can look into that. Other regional groups can look into that. It will make a lot of sense. You understand? And it should be that a problem to a brother is a problem to all. We find a way to solve our problem without allowing external forces to come in. No matter the level of issues we have, if we cannot find it internally to solve it, we should ignore it. It cannot kill us. You understand? This idea of running head and scatter, borrowing money, obtaining loan here and there, we should find a way to jettison it. Look inward to find some of the challenges we are facing. And I strongly believe that there's no technology superior to African technology. If we truly come together and face ourselves. If you remember before Christ came, Africa has been the forefront of doing a lot of wonders. If you go through history line from the time of Egypt, Ethiopia, and what have you, Africa has been there from time I've been issued, from the creation. And they have been doing wonders up to date. It's just that they use, deception and a lot of things. In fact, they try to penetrate into our culture, our way of life, and a lot of things. These are the things that we must resist. We must resist it. You understand? We must resist it. Yes. Yes, it did. There's something that made Nigerians to go agog. The child abuse recorded in Lagos school. Yeah. You understand? Which everybody highly condemn. But our own ways of promoting rights should be limited. It shouldn't be the system that we see in the Western world where a child will call police for their parents, where they promote same-sex relationship. Have you? If we come together as Africans to look inwards, respect each other's views, respect each other's culture, respect each other's ways of life, and then find internally to solve our things, have a joint military force. Honestly speaking, we will not be being treated as second-hand citizens among Community of Nations as we are being treated today. Look at a lot of things that are going in the world. In United Nations, the security team, how many Africans are there? You talk about issues of competition, either Olympic, FIFA, FIBA, and others. How many Africans are there? In the world, we have about 200 plus countries. Only Africa take more than a quarter of that. But when it comes to, giving rights to things, Africans are lacking behind. That's because we have not united. So the call for unity, the call of coming together by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a good one, but we need him to lead from the front. So I give him thumbs up for saying that. Then what we need to do is advocate, put pressure, encourage, how he can lead from the front. 2025, he has made a budget for purchasing of more vehicles for the presidency and a lot of things. We need to see him drop all the whole vehicles he's using. Let him start using Nigerian-made vehicles. There are GAG there, there's NOD there, there's Innocent, and a whole lot. In Africa, they are also producing. Let us start seeing him using things made in Nigeria. Let us see him, promoting things that will encourage all his officials, all his appointees, either minister, what have you, to make use of what we have inward here. Make it mandatory that as an official of this government, all your works must school in Africa. All your treatment must be done in Africa. Things you put on must be produced in Africa. It will go a long way, honestly.
Right. Well, it will go a long way, you say. We're still opening the phone lines and allowing you to have your thoughts in. But just before I take the phone call, okay, let's just take this one. All right, before the call, let's get on to the Facebook page wall as we have a message there. Also, Francis Namani watching live from Amagunze in Enugu State says, good morning, my people in the studio. Our political leaders should do the needful through quality governance and fair treatment to all. That's what he's got to say via the Facebook page wall. And now let's get on to the message now. I see this one coming from Samuel from Kuje. He says, good morning to you, brother, and to the comrade as himself. himself. The big brother of a thing is not taking us anywhere. We can't be suffering and dying in silence in the name of Big Brother. Let us come back home and build ourselves before any other thing else. A father whose children are dying in hunger should not be going about feeding other people's children. God bless us in this country with all we need to survive, so that our leaders think home and do the needful. Have a great and wonderful day, he says to you and your guest. All right, have a great day to you too, Samuel. But let's just take this one and then call it a close. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning to you, please. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning.
Yeah.
My name is Eunice. I'm calling you from Gudu.
All right, Eunice, talk to us though. What are your thoughts?
Well, I support Madam Blessy for what she said.
Okay.
I'm a victim of this that happened to me during Tinubu election. There's one man that I respect him very well, and the man used to play with me. So after the election, the night that Kaduna win PDP, as I'm talking to him now, this man today, he's not talking to me. Right. Immediately he saw me coming, and he said, "This is what's his name?" He said, "Na PDP family. She's from Kaduna State. Na PDP family. That they should not talk to me. All the evil people that they are, I know them. He asked them not to talk to me because I'm from Kaduna State. Right. That PDP Kaduna win PDP. Why? Honestly, this issue of love, we don't love ourselves in this country. Okay. If we have love for ourselves, I'm telling you, some things will not be happening in this country like this.
Right.
We have to come back and love ourselves. Not to even say, this one is from Plateau, this one is from Kaduna, this one is for Anambra, Igbo, Rivers. I don't have anything to do with that person. No, in God we are all one. Okay. We are not different. Do you know that God is watching everything we are doing, because the reason why He's not solving all these issues, because we don't have love.
All right,
yes. If we have love, everything will be perfect.
Yeah, I might have to want
to. That's my own.
All right, thank you so much, though. Eunice has said something very, very important, something that, we keep talking about, we are united and all of that, but in the true sense of the word, are we really loving one another? Well, Comrade Kachi, there's so much to talk about. We cannot cover so much on this one, but then the basics has been said. You said, according to you and I quote, you said that the president having that conversation is not the problem. Having to say that, on that pedestal, on that podium, is not the issue, but we have to come back home and be sure that what we say is what we do. Practice what you preach is what you're saying right there. And then we must put measures in place to ensure that we do the right thing, so that when we make some of these proclamations, we'll be saying them with clean hands and clear conscience. Well, time will not allow for us to get involved some more. But
just a second.
Okay.
Addendum to what I have said,
yes,
for us as citizens and Africans, we should also look at where we can promote our own. The idea of obtaining foreign names, especially when it comes to childbirth giving or maybe baptism or what have you, we should petition it. Make use of our indigenous name.
Okay.
It shouldn't be that you go for baptism, they will be telling you, if you don't answer John or Samuel, you will not be baptized. We should find a way to a lot of laws that we know banish all this kind of foreign colonialism that we are facing. Okay. These are some of the things I think we can do inward. Yes, our president has said this, but us as a citizens, we should help to see that it comes to pass.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we also have a role to play to making sure that it comes to pass. Comrade Gerald Okachi is your name, and you are a human rights activist, public affairs commentator, and social analyst. Thank you for adding your voice in the discourse this morning, and we are looking forward to better engagements with you in the coming days.
Thank you for having me.
Right. And yes, this is where we call it a close. And